Welcome to day one. I'm really excited about this day because I feel like social media is the thing that gets people the most overwhelmed. You feel like you have to constantly post. There's so much out there that says be consistent, be consistent, be consistent, but being consistent is exhausting, right? So let's talk about how you can set yourself up for success, a lot less exhaustion, but still be consistent and still get your message out there regularly. So the first thing I want you to do, first go and download that workbook. If you've not done that yet, definitely go and download your workbook. And on page 2 of the workbook, you're going to be finding a four different check boxes for each month, May, June, and July. What I want you to do with these check boxes is to use them to mark off every single week that you have scheduled at least one post about your free opt-in. If you don't have a free opt-in, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more on Wednesday. If you don't, I would highly, highly, highly encourage you to get one because it's going to be the thing that drives people to your email list, and that's so important to have. But if you do have one, I want you to really gut check yourself and see how many times you're talking about this on a regular basis. I say to gut check yourself because I have to do it a lot too. It's easy to forget to talk about it or to feel like we're talking about it too much and that we're overwhelming people, but that's just not the case. So what I want you to do is go right now and schedule out as far in advance as you can. I think a lot of programs let you only do about 6 weeks at a time, but that's okay. That's why you have those check boxes so you know when to pick back up again and say, I have scheduled a post about my opt-in. Now, these posts are not meant to be identical. By no way do I want you to go and copy and paste the same thing over and over again. What I want you to do is take that opt-in and find little nuggets you can pull from it, little reasons that they might want to sign up. Usually there's a couple, and really talk about what it is they're going to be getting, why that matters to them on an emotional level, how it works, what's going to come next. Really set that expectation, where they can receive it, how soon they're going to be able to receive it, which is probably immediately. But make sure you're starting to answer those questions, because even though it's a freebie, it takes a lot for someone to sign up. That email address that you're going to be getting as a result of them signing up is like internet gold. And so I want you to really remember that. We need to consistently nurture. We need to consistently show up and say, I've got this for you. I've got this for you. I've got this for you. And the more that we do that, the more likely it is that we're going to catch the right people at the right time who are ready to sign up for that. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen free offers and I'm too busy to sign up in the moment, and then I forget where to go and sign up. So that's why we want to do this at least once a week throughout the summer. Be posting about your opt-in. On the next page of your workbook, I'm going to go ahead and scroll down on my screen as well. If I can, there it is. I want you to look at your content. So your content is your podcast, your blog post, your any kind of an article that you have that's out. It can be a video, a vlog. I want you to go and look at that content and see what you have right now that's performing really, really, really well. Continuously posting about that content is, again, going to help your content show up in the right place at the right time in front of the right people. You should never, ever assume, and I don't like to speak in absolutes, but this is one of those times where it makes a lot of sense. You should never, ever assume that people always see what you post. So posting about this content, especially the content that's getting a lot of attention and making people really excited, posting about it continuously. So I would post about it 2 to 3 times throughout the summer. I would say find your top 5 to 10 pieces of content and then schedule each piece 2 to 3 times throughout the summer. That's immediately going to be filling up your social feeds, and it's going to make sure that people are seeing that content, seeing that value time and time again, and they're able to show up for you and your business and dig into it at, again, a time that feels right for them. I also want you to anticipate the upcoming content that you might have coming out. So this is a great way for you to get off the hamster wheel of content creation and really settle into the summer season. It's by anticipating your content that's coming out and then scheduling out that marketing so you don't even have to think about it. This can be a little bit trickier to do because you often will need a link, especially to YouTube. To a blog, you might be able to anticipate that link. You can anticipate that link and schedule it out and plan out to write that slug. The slug is basically what's everything behind your domain name in the URL. So for example, if it's roadpreneur.com, the slug would be summer/summer roadpreneur.com/summer. The slug is summer at that point. So you can anticipate that and you can schedule out your blog posts, the links to your blog post, knowing when they're going to go live and when you're going to want to start publishing them and taking from them. The other thing I want you to think about as you're scheduling out your content is to add a little bit more depth. So depending on whatever platform you're on, what I want you to do is take snippets of that content. This can be, if you have a vlog, you can take out tip number 1 in my 5 tips in this blog was XYZ. Here's why it matters. Here's why it's important to you. Pull it all out of that vlog, and put it out there. Put it out there for people to read, because then you can say, I've got 4 more tips just like this. Go and check this out, and you're going to find them on this video or in this blog post or on this podcast, whatever it might be. But the more that you're able to pull out that value and they can feel that and see it immediately, the more likely it is that you're going to be meeting people where they're at over the summer. Okay, the final part of this is engagement drivers, because we can't only talk about ourselves. We want to form a relationship with people who are in our free Facebook groups or who are listening to our podcast or on our social feeds. And the best way to do that is by asking them questions. So in your workbook, I've got 30 different engagement drivers that you will start. Hopefully we'll get the wheels going about different ways that you can add these specific to your industry, specific to your audience. I mean, the first one is this or that. There's so many this or that so you can do across all industries. So you can take that and do a this or that Thursday, for example, and start scheduling out those engagement drivers too. It's great if you can be there to respond to those engagement drivers, but you don't have to always be there to respond to it. Start to infuse these and meld them together so you have an engagement driver, you got your opt-in, you got some content, you got some past content, and you're going to start to see how your social feeds fill up, and you can sit back knowing you're posting consistently, you're putting stuff out there, and it's all been scheduled, and it's also very strategic and intentional. I hope that this feels easy. What I would love for you to do is go into your day 1 homework post inside our free Facebook group and tell us what you are scheduling out. What's the biggest thing that you're excited about scheduling out? It can be all 3 of them. It can be the engagement drivers specifically. If you don't have an opt-in, maybe that's not it. Maybe come and tell us that. I want to hear how you're feeling about your social media presence going into the summer and what is going to be the easiest and the most exciting for you to go and schedule out, and also what's going to be the most challenging for you to go and schedule out. Go tell us in the Facebook group, and I'll be back on day 2 tomorrow with some flash optimization tips. You're not going to want to miss this one.